How you doing, everybody? Jim here. More sunshine, please. Tuesday night live stream, 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for watching the replay. If you're doing that, again, I didn't schedule this as an event. I'm just going live. Hopefully, some people know that I do this on Tuesday nights at 7:30. So we'll wait for some people to hop on in here. Let me get myself situated. This is right. I've got so many gadgets going here. I've got my I got my screen back there. I haven't even belched yet. Let's get that out of there. Peter P., you are the first one in here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. D&G Explorers, you are driving home. Yes. Stop texting. Stop chatting. I understand totally. I need you to get home safely. But thank you so much for being here, my support channel. Steve's World. Steve, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Steve, since you're here, last week, I'll just run down what I'm going over today. But last week, one of the items I had mentioned were some trivia questions on a Disney bounding video we had watched. Well, I found the video. I wrote down the questions, so I'll be going over those in a little bit. So we will test your knowledge, well, everybody's knowledge, actually. Again, I didn't get any of them right, but that's okay. I'm not the strongest at Disney trivia outside of the parks. We'll get into that later. Also, there was a new Endgame TV spot that was released this morning, 2.5 minutes. A lot of it is just mashup of all of the other Marvel movies, but we'll watch it, and there's a couple of very small new things at the end of it, but just getting me excited. I really want to show it. Adventures of David and Aaron, thank you so much for being here, guys. It means a lot that you're here. Welcome. Also, coming up, there is video of the Skyliner, specifically inside the cabin of the Skyliner. The Orlando Sentinel released a video today, so I'm going to show that, and so it's pretty neat. It'll be our first look inside the cabins. So sorry, that was the first belch. I can go to that now. I started out with it, and I had a whole thing here. Okay, that burp, the first burp, was brought to you by D&G Explorers. D&G Explorers, Australian for beer. All right, that's my first one of the stream. So who else is here? Bob and Ashley, thank you so much for being here. Bob, since you're here, I have a question to ask you. I'm wearing a shirt that I bought at the Character Warehouse, and it's this super awesome Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales shirt. I can't really show you much, but the important part of the shirt is visible, and it's when I first saw it in the store and when I bought it, I said, this shirt is way too good to be in the Character Warehouse. This should be $35 in the park. When I got it home, I realized why it was at the Character Warehouse. And Bob, perhaps you've seen this multiple times, or were a victim of it yourself. Here's what I mean. Right here at the sleeves, the seam of the sleeve, there's this extra material. And so when I first put the shirt on, it looked like I had puffy shoulders or something. It doesn't look terrible right now, but when I'm just standing there, there's this extra material. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of bunches up front and back around the seam where the sleeve meets the rest of the shirt. So I'm thinking these are irregular shirts like you'd buy at TJ Maxx or something, but bought it at the Character Warehouse. Since I've purchased this shirt, I keep an eye out for that, and the last time I was there, I did notice another shirt that had a similar problem. Bob does say, yeah, that happens. Yeah, now I know. I learned the hard way. I mean, this is a fantastic shirt. I love it, except for that extra sleeve material. What are you going to do? Live and learn, I suppose. Disney Nerd Herders, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. Means a lot that you're here. What else do we have? So there's we're going to watch some video of the Skyliner cabins in a little bit. And also, you may or may not know, this past weekend, it may still be going on, I don't even know, in Chicago, Star Wars Celebration happened. That's where they released the new teaser trailer. I'm not going to show that, but there was a video released recently. I don't know if it was this morning or not, but it had to do with, it's just a little minute-and-a-half video of Galaxy's Edge, and we get to see one of the ride vehicles, specifically the one for Rise of the Resistance. So I'm going to show that. And so that'll be cool to take a look at that. Uber Wisdom Videos. Jason and Bridget, thank you so much for being here. So let's get into it, I suppose. I'm going to start out with the Endgame trailer. Now, I know if you are not a big Marvel fan, I bore you with something every week about this, but I'm just very excited. I am a big fan of these movies, so we're going to take a look. This was released this morning, 2.5 minutes, and you'll see it's sort of a tease because there's not a lot of the movie Endgame itself in this. As a matter of fact, only at the end do you see anything new. What else? I had something written down here. Yeah, some specific things. We'll watch it and then I'll talk about it after. So here it is.
Heroes. It's an old-fashioned notion.
A visionary, a genius, ensuring freedom around the globe.
A symbol to the nation, a hero to the world.
The beacon of hope, shining out across the stars.
I look around at us, you know what I see?
A bunch of a-holes.
Possibility. You think you know how the world works?
The world is changing.
We need heroes. Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict. Conflict breeds catastrophe. The thing isn't beautiful because it lasts.
We're in the endgame now.
Before we're done, we still have one promise to keep.
If we can't protect the Earth, you can be damn sure we'll avenge it.
Whatever it takes.
All right, so there it was. What I like about that is that it gets me very excited for the movie. Not that I wasn't before I saw that, but it also didn't spoil much of the movie to come. So they were smart about that, building the excitement through the clips from those wonderful movies, Marvel movies that came before, and even the second Thor movie was in there. But just a little, very quick things there at the end. You saw Thanos at the very end, just sitting there, as looked like Iron Man and Captain America and Thor were walking slowly toward him. So I don't know what's going on there. It looked like there was a new Iron Man suit, very briefly, I hadn't seen before. What else? And there was a spacecraft of some sort breaking through dust or clouds or something. So that's all I need. Just a little something to throw out there. And yeah, I'm excited. So hopefully you enjoyed that. All right, that's it for the video. Let's check the chat. Disney Nerd Herder suggests that I chop off the extra material. So like a muscle shirt. Is that what you're saying? Problem with that is I think you need muscles to wear a muscle shirt, and I could give the shirt away to somebody that does, I suppose. But Bob mentioned also seam irregularity. Yeah, certainly that's why I think these shirts were in the Character Warehouse. I'm keeping my eye open for that from now on. So I'm still glad I got this shirt, and whatever. I'm just a smarter shopper now, I suppose. Peter P. was asking where everybody gets their Disney World news without just Googling it. Good question. A few websites. Now, Disney comes out with their own press releases, so you can always get that. I always check the YouTube page of Disney Parks, of Marvel Entertainment, of Star Wars, so you'll see me reference those places when I show a video or something. As a matter of fact, when I show the Skyliner video, that came straight from the Orlando Sentinel, so the newspaper in Orlando, and they have a website with that video on it. So that's where I got that. Also, a couple of Orlando-based websites. The Diz, or WDW Info, is a website. WDWNT, which stands for Walt Disney World News Tonight.com, is another. And there's a bunch. There's no shortage of finding out news there. So before I hop on Tuesday nights, I check to see what the news is through Disney and YouTube and the various other places. So that's what I do. Adventures of David and Aaron. Always loved Spider-Man as a kid. Who didn't? That's the one. Isn't that everybody's favorite? At least their first favorite. D&G Explorers. Marvel is being very protective of what they are showing, and I like that. Agreed. What I don't agree with is you chatting while you're driving. Can you please stop chatting while you're driving? Get home and then join us. We want you safe for your stream tomorrow. That's what we want. Let's see, Bob and Ashley, besides the 20 minutes leaked, they've only shown about 5 or 8 minutes. They've leaked 20 minutes of the movie? I didn't even know that. No, I did see something else today that I hadn't seen before. It was just from another commercial. I believe it was from a TV spot where War Machine, Don Cheadle's character, lands on the ground really quickly next to Paul Rudd's character and startles him a bit. I hadn't seen that before, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, I like not having anything spoiled. That's a big problem with movie trailers, and it has been for years, where they ruin the movie. You don't even have to see the movie after you see many trailers. Do you know what I'm talking about? So the fact that they have a 3 hour and 2 minute movie, and we've only seen tops, if they've leaked 20 minutes or a half hour, the most we've seen might be 10% of the movie, which is actually a lot, isn't it? But yeah, I'm purposefully keeping my distance from most other things. If it's a TV commercial, I suppose I think they're smart enough. I think I understand what they're doing. They're whetting our appetites. They're just teasing us with very little clips. So I'm not afraid that I'll learn too much about that. Yeah. Yeah, let's move on. So we've got... oh, wait a minute. Bob and Ashley says, yeah, some major spoilers confirmed, some rumors. Yeah, I don't even want to listen to that. But that's too bad. I guess it's bound to happen, but... oh, I see. D&G Explorers. After I got on his case, he chatted. His was Daredevil growing up, and he's only chatting at the stoplights. Okay, thank goodness for that. But we kid. So, yeah, he saw 2 confirmed rumors by accident. That's too bad. Disney Nerd just says Spider-Man and his amazing friends, Iceman and Firestar. I remember that. I do remember that. It was Saturday mornings, right? It was. Again, I wasn't a big into comic books, but I remember that she was dressed in yellow, right? He was made of ice, of course. She had red hair. She was on fire, something like that. Okay, yeah. All right, let's move on. Where were we? Okay, so let's talk about Star Wars Celebration a bit. That's taking place in Chicago. It's the big convention for Star Wars fans. I don't know if it's still going on. It seems like it's been going on for a week now. As I said, they released the teaser trailer for that. If you haven't seen it by now, go take a look at it. It was awesome. What I am going to show you here, though, is not the teaser trailer, but Disney Parks released a video of a bit of the ride vehicle from Rise of the Resistance. So I'm going to play that video now. There's also, it's like a minute and a half long. There's also something else, some photo booth they had there that you'll see. But the biggest, the most interesting part of the video is that ride vehicle. So let me find it. I think this is it. Cross your fingers. Here we go.
Wendy Anderson.
Hi, I'm Rob Hamburg.
And we're here to welcome you to the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge booth at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, that's good. That's good. There you go.
I'm sitting in the First Order troop transport from Rise of the Resistance from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And this is the first time ever that guests will be able to sit and take pictures with the R5 unit. It's a special treat for our fans here at Star Wars Celebration.
We really wanted to give fans the opportunity to tell us what means the most to them about Star Wars, or what they're most excited about with the coming lands, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So, welcome to the Fanfessional.
2, 1.
Once inside, guests have the chance to record their personal story about Star Wars.
Everyone can be a hero, everyone can save the day.
And when they're done, they can pick a commemorative gift to take away and share with the world.
For the first time ever, guests here at Star Wars Celebration will be able to see the merchandise that they'll be able to purchase at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. In fact, every day of the celebration, the guests will be able to see a new series of merchandise. We hope to see you at Star Wars Celebration, but if not,
we'll see you at Black Spire Outpost, at Disneyland in May, and Walt Disney World in August. May the Force be with you.
All right, so that was, again, the most interesting part of that to me is the ride vehicle in the Rise of the Resistance attraction. They called it the First Order Tube Transport. So a number of people can sit in it. You've got that, what do you call it, R5 unit in the front there. So didn't really tell us much about the ride, but I thought it was cool to see a little bit of something about that. What do you guys think? Let's check the chat. Steve says he thought it ended yesterday. I know it was still going on yesterday, so okay, last day was yesterday. Good to know. MGM Family Traveling, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us. Peter P. says, I heard when Galaxy's Edge first opens, the restaurant won't be open. Now, I know two of the two attractions, only one will be open, and the restaurant won't be open either. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure. Can anybody verify that? He might be right about that. MGM Family Traveling. Talking to my daughter into taking a job at Disney Orlando. My boss's daughter does it for college credits and gets a ton of free tickets to the park and probably discounts on gear. Pardon me, that was another burp. Let's get to that. Every burp online, on the internet, worldwide, is brought to you by D&G Explorers. D&G Explorers, when you care enough to send the very best. Back to the chat. troop transport. What did I say? I said tube, didn't I? Troop transport. Yeah, that makes more sense. They're not in London. They're not riding the tube, right? Okay, let's move on. Steve is saying Rise of the Resistance definitely will not be open. That's the one that won't be open. And the Millennium Falcon one is the one that will be open on opening day. Good to know. Thank you. Peter P., I heard it either won't be open or they will serve only drinks but not food. Interesting. All right. Okay. Okay, last week I referenced a video that my wife and I saw online about Disney bounding, which is where people don't dress up. It's not cosplay, but what they wear regular clothes, but it's influenced by a Disney character. So if you were to dress like Donald Duck, I suppose you'd wear a blue shirt and white pants or something like that, or yellow shoes. You know what I'm talking about? So you're dressing in their color scheme. That's not why I don't remember why I brought up that video last week. But I did mention that in the video there was a group of Disney bounders, as they call themselves, I suppose, and they'd get together in this bar and they'd play trivia, Disney trivia. And I had mentioned that the trivia questions were quite hard. They read off 5 of them, but they didn't give any of the answers because it wasn't a trivia video. They were just showing how everybody was having fun in their little Disney community while playing a trivia game. And then Steve in the chat asked what the trivia questions were, and I could not remember any of them. So I went back. And if you're interested in that video, and it was really well done, it was by a channel that has a million subscribers. The channel is called Refinery29, and I wasn't familiar with that, but I think it might be a fashion channel or something. But I went back and I wrote down all the questions, and then I had to research what the answers were. So I'm going to throw these out there one at a time, and if anybody in the chat knows, please chime in. So here's the first question they asked in the video, and it's probably the easiest question. And again, I still did not get it. First question, what's the name of the daycare center in Toy Story 3? What's the name of the daycare center in Toy Story 3? And that's probably the easiest one because, well, you'll see when I read the other questions. But I did take a guess at all of them. And I thought that perhaps the name of the daycare center was called Shady Acres. It was not, and I was wrong. So if nobody's going to hazard a guess, I will just tell you. Checking really quick. Chat check. I don't want to screw things up. Here, we'll just do that. Okay. Sunnyside Daycare. Steve did get it. Did you Google it? Steve, you probably knew it. Good. I'm glad I waited. Yes, Sunnyside Daycare. That is correct. You are 1 for 1. I am 0 for 1. Again, I didn't get... Now, okay, maybe this one is easier. I don't know. I should have read through them before I said that was the easiest one. I was closest with this next one. Others did get that as well. Okay, so here's question number 2, and then I'll wait a little bit longer. What is Mickey Mouse's birthday? I guessed and I got it wrong, but I was close. All right, so I'm going to give you a moment on that. What is Mickey Mouse's birthday? And as soon as I see it in there, I'll read it off and then we'll move on. Peter P., it was Sunnyside, yes. What is Mickey Mouse's birthday? Still waiting. What is the delay on the chat? Peter P. says, I know the year is 1928, right? That is correct. Steve is guessing November 28th, 1928. That is incorrect. Well, Steve revised his answer, and he did get it correct. It is November 18th. I guessed the 15th. I knew it was in November. It is November 18th. Disney Nerd is guessing July. Steve is blaming his wrong answer on a typo. I'm giving you a hard time. Yes, November 18th, 1928. So I'm guessing you're 2 for 2, and I'm 0 for 5. So we'll just leave it at that. I'll stop repeating it. Okay, now this is They said words in this question I wasn't even sure what they were talking about. Okay. Number 3, in the movie Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, what is the name of the band Protozoa plays in? In the movie Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, what is the name of the band Protozoa plays in? I didn't know if that was a Disney Channel movie. I didn't know if that was a direct-to-video movie. I wasn't sure about that one at all. But I took a guess at the answer. Xenon Girl of the 21st Century sounds spacey to me. So I guess the name of the band was called The Aliens. I was wrong. Let's see if anybody has ever seen that. Has anybody ever heard of it? I had not heard of it. Like I said, these were tough. The last one will be tough too because I hadn't seen it. Actually, I hadn't seen the next one. Oh, there are 6 questions. I said there were 5 questions. There were 6. Oh boy, you really should have prepared for this, huh? D&G has never seen this, but is guessing amoeba. No, it's not amoeba. Bob and Ashley don't know, but her dad was on the news here. Think he was the weatherman on Channel 9 or Channel 6? Is that I don't know if you're being serious or that's a joke. Steve has never heard of it. Disney Nerders says Electric Mayhem. No, not a bad guess. Isn't that the Muppet Band? Something close to that, huh? Kristen Storms was from Orlando. Here in Tampa, we had a news guy with the last name of Wilson, and his son is the actor. Now I can't think of it. Patrick Wilson. He was in Aquaman. He was the brother. That guy. He's from Tampa. Hey Collier, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us. We're doing some Disney trivia here that I took from somebody else's YouTube video. So okay, so we're just gonna move on. The name of the band in the movie Xenon Girl of the 21st Century is called Microbe. Okay, moving on. Number 4. What is the name of the first Mickey Mouse cartoon in color? What is the name of the first Mickey Mouse cartoon in color? I will say that when I researched the answer to this, and again, I got it wrong. I didn't even hazard a guess for this. But when I researched the answer for this, there were actually 2 possible answers. I'll explain that in a little bit. I'll explain it now. The very first one was not released to the public. And the second one was. So if you count the very first cartoon in color, and they didn't specify in the video what they were looking for, if you want the very, very, very first one, it's the one that was not released to the public. Nobody ever saw it except for a private crowd. And I'll explain when I give the answer where that crowd was. But I will accept that or the very first one that was to the public. It looks like Steve has it. Anybody else before you? No, Steve, you got it. It's called The Band Concert 1935. And that was the very first Mickey Mouse cartoon in color. You're really good at this, Steve. But the very first one ever was 3 years prior, in 1932. And it was for the 5th Academy Awards, the 5th one. And it was called Parade of the Award Nominees. And it was the very first Mickey Mouse in cartoon in color. But again, and they didn't televise that. There was no televising in 1932. But I guess it was in color. I've never seen it. And it was, just for that award show. I think maybe it was on the radio. They broadcast the Academy Awards on the radio in the 30s, but certainly not on television or even newsreel that I know of. Okay, so that's cool. Good job, Steve. Number 5 of 6. What is Troy Bolton's basketball jersey number in High School Musical? I've never seen it, so I took a guess. And if you've seen this, if you're a fan or have family that is a big fan of High School Musical, you probably get this right away. But not having seen this, I just had to guess, and I came closer than I thought. But if it's a basketball team, you only have so many numbers to choose from, right? So, Disney World Adventures. Chris, welcome to the live stream. No problem. No worries. Thank you so much for being here. Chris was pumping my channel on his live stream this weekend. Said so many nice things, so I thank you very much for that. Steve's got it again. I don't know if you know these or if you're Googling them. Either way, it doesn't matter. I didn't set any rules. Bob put a 3-digit number on there. No, not that. It was 14. I guessed 24, so I actually got half of it right? So Troy Bolton's jersey number 14 is the answer. I think Steve has all 5 of the questions correct. Here's the last one, and you may need extra Googling time for this one, Steve. I'm giving you a hard time. In the movie Zombies, I did not know that was a Disney movie. In the movie Zombies, what device do the zombie kids wear to squash their urge to eat brains? Again, in the movie Zombies, what device do the zombie kids wear to squash their urge to eat brains? It is really hard to know the answer to a question about a movie you did not know existed. So, Steve is not Googling it. He swears. That is impressive, Steve. You are today's champion. This is just the final Jeopardy round here where you bet $0, right? RVing to Disney, thank you so much for joining the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is fun. Taking somebody else's trivia questions and going on with them. Disney Nerd Herder says a wristband, and that is correct. An electromagnetic bracelet, to be a stickler. But yeah, you got it. Well done. Well, that was fun and difficult. I didn't get any of those. So, impressive, guys. Well done. Let's continue on. I know there's other live streams going. Who's on? Mouse Talk is just starting. So, let me show you the video about the Orlando Sentinel. Got in to see inside the cabin of one of the Disney Skyliners. So I'm going to play that right now. So you'll get to see footage of the station that's on Hourglass Lake. That's the lake between Pop Century Resort and Art of Animation. And then you'll see who's on here. Thomas Maslam, Senior Vice President at Disney, is the one talking. So here it goes. Let me start that. Let's just watch it. Here it is.
Since the opening in 1971, we've always made it a point of providing a fun transportation experience between the two different points. Now, this particular one is going to connect 4 of our most beloved resorts with Epcot and the Hollywood studios. So really, it's not only going to be a fun experience, but it's going to be a far more efficient experience. We are planning on opening up in the fall of this particular year, and we are right now starting testing. The system has been designed, as you can see, with a cross-air ventilation for maximum airflow to provide a really, really, really unbelievably comfortable, relaxing environment. And the views are just going to be gorgeous. Bird-eye views as you glide gracefully across the skyline over lakes and the forests, and as you see the theme parks as you approach them. We made a point of creating a comfortable, relaxing and memorable experience. Comfortable because we're going to have benches inside for up to 10 people, including for people in wheelchairs. But we've also designed those cabins very, very specifically with the Florida climate in mind, with cross ventilation for maximum airflow and very special window to prevent direct sunlighting onto the cabin. So it's going to be a very comfortable, relaxing and most importantly, fun ride.
So I found that very interesting. I wrote some things down here. He had mentioned that it connects, the Skyliner itself connects 4 resorts with Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So that'll be a fantastic new way to get around. We knew that, though. You saw the video of the gondolas going over Hourglass Lake there. They were covered in that test run there. He had mentioned no AC. We also knew there was no air conditioning in these cabins. But the windows open, apparently, in some capacity to provide cross-air ventilation. So when these things are moving at 11 miles per hour, it will create a breeze inside that cabin. When it breaks down, however, and you're stuck in that cabin and there is no movement and there is no wind, I don't know what's going on there. It'll probably be fine. And one reason it might be fine is because he said the windows are designed to prevent direct sunlight. You could see it's louvered to... I'm sorry. That burp is brought to you by D&G Explorers. D&G Explorers, it gives you wings. But he mentioned the windows, and I think there's going to be some sort of screen over the windows as well. And you saw that was cabin number 1, and it had Chip and Dale design on there, so that's cool. And it seats up to 10 people. Now, I don't know if they're going to cram 10 people into every cabin, or if you've got a family of 4, if you can just have your own. That would be kind of nice. But we'll see. I am really looking forward to the Disney Skyliner opening up, and I think it'll open up sooner rather than later. Let's check the chat one more time. I see Charlie is giving Stacy all the credit. Well done, Stacy. Getting that. Good job indeed. Bob says, a wooden bench in the air. Yes. It's treated wood, I guess. But Jason from Uper Wisdom Video says, still think it'll be hot in August. Yeah, I mean, I've got to imagine that they're not going to spend millions of dollars on this and not know for certain that these are going to be comfortable in the hottest of conditions. Because if it's miserable, nobody's going to ride this, and it's just going to be a giant waste of money. So I suppose they can always retrofit these things with AC, but apparently they don't need it. I don't know. Did I just blow into the microphone? Sorry about that. Charlie asks, do they float? We will probably wouldn't survive the fall anyway, Derek. Okay. Oh, boy. Bring a water bottle fan. I've got one right there. There it is. Steve, thank you so much for being here. So much fun to have you on here as always. And I enjoyed your live stream yesterday with the Disney song bracket. The winner of the greatest Disney song, I don't know what he called it. It was Be Our Guest won. But you should watch the replay. It was a lot of fun to participate in that. So good night, Steve. Thank you so much for being here. they should have emergency water in the cabins. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Perhaps that would be a great idea. Some granola bars, maybe. Little survival pack, Band-Aids. Because when people are trying to claw their way out, they're gonna get blisters on their fingers and stuff. So we'll see. 10 people at 98.6 degrees each. We'll see, though. I'm optimistic. I think they know what they're doing. Matthew and Lauren, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to have you. Although we're just wrapping it up. I know Mouse Talk is live at 8 o'clock, so I don't want to eat up too much time. Everybody go see what is going on there. But before you leave, just let me say, D&G back live tomorrow. Why am I talking in sentence fragments? Their Wednesday live stream will be back tomorrow, 8 p.m., tentatively with Bob from Bob and Ashley and myself. So please join us tomorrow on D&G Explorers YouTube page, and we'll be discussing Disney and welcoming them back to their Wednesday live stream. Can't wait. So that'll be awesome. I want to thank everybody for being here. Is there anything else? D&G was there. I want to thank Steve for being here. Chris from Disney World Adventures. Disney Nerd Herders, thank you so much. Bob and Ashley. D&G Explorers, my support channel. RVing to Disney. My sister was in here. Thank you for being in here. RVing to Disney. Did I say that already? Peter P. Was here. Thank you so much, everybody. MGM Family Traveling, and who else? I'm trying to do this really quick so that we can make it over to Mouse Talk. Let's just do that. So thank you so much, everybody. I will be back next Tuesday, so hopefully I will see you then. Good night, everybody. Excelsior. That's not my new goodbye thing. I just said that once, and I thought I'd say it again. It just popped in my head. Oh, well, bye, everybody.